Good here. Yeah. Test, test, test. Yeah, I think we're good. All right, let's roll. So, hey everybody, welcome to Flying Wheels teaser. To right behind me, that is some upcoming projects to our flipping $400 to no longer a Ferrari anymore. What? Craig, you have a Lamborghini? That's not this video. What's today's video about? Today's video is about everything that I did wrong at the Mecum auction, everything I would have changed about the Mecum auction, everything I did right. And I'm actually gonna show you all something that I've never really done before. I'm gonna show you all my revenue. So not just like how much did we make or lose on the cars, but how much did we make off the videos and partnerships, and how much money do I actually make? Why do I make these videos where it's like Craig lost money on a car? And we're gonna dive pretty deep into that stuff in today's video. So it's not like our traditional walk around the auction or fix and flip. Today I'm gonna give you a little backstory, like a little bit of insider information into what's really going on behind the scenes at Flying Wheels and with the dealership and also with YouTube. So without further ado, you're getting access to all of my secrets today. Let's start by discussing the Mecum auction and everything I did wrong. My name is Craig from Flying Wheels, Lamborghini. Unbelievable. Let's get going. So hey everybody, welcome to Flying Wheels and my Flying Wheels YouTube channel. My name is Craig from Flying Wheels. Let's see how many times I can say the name Flying Wheels. Okay, so I make YouTube videos and they are almost all automotive based. I own a car dealership in New Hampshire, but I have a passion for cars. It's deep in my blood. You could say there's oil in my veins. My grandfather was an auto tech teacher. My great-grandfather immigrated here from Italy and owned gas stations. My father's an auto tech teacher. My brother does auto body. And I just honestly hate working on cars, but love owning cars. I buy them, I have fun with them. I get a little bored, I sell it, and I move on. And that's how we started the car dealership. I bought something, my wife would get upset with me, girlfriend at the time, because we're trying to save for a house. I would drive it, I would sell it, I'd make a profit, and then she'd be happy. And then I'd go do it again as a hobby. And she eventually got so upset with me that I had to actually turn it into a business, and it became very profitable for us. Well, along the ways, I started to transition my life into things that made me happy, and honestly, being a used car dealer isn't that grand. I have done really well and still do really well thanks to that car dealership. I've said it before, it's like a money printing machine. People always need transportation, and selling cars, even though there's a stigma to being a used car dealer, has always treated me right. Even being here in Florida, we're doing it here as well. I'm gonna get into that in a minute and some of the profits we've made while being here. But before I do that, let's dive into Flying Wheels and the Mecum auto auction, which you've watched for 7 or 8 episodes already. And I'm gonna go over why I kept that Mercedes for so long. What's up with the Hummer? How much did I lose on the Nissan Skyline? And Craig, why are you doing this stuff? Let's dive right into it. So by diving into it, you may notice how some of the style has changed with like my Audi e-tron. I bought that car because I loved that car. I didn't buy it because I wanted it to be good for my car dealership. I bought it because it makes me really happy. I drove that car for an entire year, not knowing that the electric vehicle market was going to change so drastically, not knowing that values were going to plummet in 10 months. So I paid $83,000 for it. I sold it for $48,000. That is an annual salary for a lot of people. Now, my car dealership makes money every single month. YouTube, fortunately, makes money every single month. And also, we have partners that sponsor our videos that help us subsidize some of these losses. So I drove a car that I like for 10 months. And if you buy a new car, oftentimes it depreciates near 25% as soon as you drive off the lot. So that's expected. The problem is we got into this world where things weren't depreciating for a while, and now they are again. I lost money on the e-tron, but I drove it and I loved it. And I made some good videos with it. And it made me really happy. It was my daily driver. It wasn't for the dealership. I did that again with the Cybertruck, and I'm gonna make a video about the Cybertruck and how much money I made on this Cybertruck right here. I lost nearly, let's see, I paid 106. I sold it for like 83. So I lost 20-something thousand on it, but I got out of it before it depreciated even more. They've come down in value even more. I have literally gotten millions of views and so many new subscribers and followers from that truck. I'm gonna get into that in a whole different video. Well, hey, you may have noticed my shirt changed in this transition from white to red. No more being in the red. Let's get into the black with today's sponsor. UFC 313 is stacked with Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev for the light heavyweight belt. And that's not all. The fight cards are stacked in what could be another fight of the year. MyBookie's Bet and Get is back. Bet $10 or more on UFC 313 and score surprise reward, free spins, cash back, bonus chips, and more. The bigger you bet, the bigger the perks. If you're signing up now, use my promo code Flying Wheels and boost your bankroll. Deposit $50 and get an extra $25. Go bigger with $100 and MyBookie throws in another $50. More bets, more chances to win on a massive UFC weekend. With MyBookie, you can bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie. And thank you to MyBookie for sponsoring today's video. MyBookie gives you an extra 50% bonus on your deposit, plus a $10 casino chip. Today's sponsor, MyBookie, and my potential win on UFC 313 could help me recoup some of the losses on this Mercedes and Skyline. Let's jump back into some of the things I did wrong and what I would have changed. I bought this Nissan Skyline. So my brother is a Nissan guy, Adam altogether. He rebuilds old Nissan 240s and Nissan Skylines, and I bought that car like peak COVID, 2020. It was a great deal at the time. The R33, which is this generation, there was the R32 that was really popular. Then the R33 got really popular as soon as they became legal to import over here. I bought it, turbo, rear wheel drive, manual transmission, and right-hand drive. Cool car. Gave it to my brother to build for me. I didn't know parts for that car, like the bumper and the side skirts and the headlights were worth $5,000. So I paid $18,000 for it, and I was into it for nearly another $10,000 to restore it, turn it into midnight purple, and do it like you see here, because this is what it looked like before. So I took this and turned it into this right here. So the Skyline needs to go. I have had offers and I honestly should have taken them, but I wasn't really ready to take the loss until I finally was. And that is what the Mecum auction was for, to just get rid of it. High bid gets it, move on, cash out, use that money, buy something else. I bought this Humvee last year in April at the Barrett-Jackson auto auction in West Palm Beach. I'm gonna get into what happened with this. And then I also bought this Mercedes and this Mercedes. This Mercedes I bought over a year ago at a dealer auction, and I thought I got a great deal on it, and I was planning on selling it at the Mecum auction last January. It didn't sell, so I shipped it back home. I also bought this one at Barrett-Jackson in April of last year to show what we could buy for under $8,500 at the Barrett-Jackson auction. I still think to this day this was a great car. So I'm gonna go one car at a time and explain what was going on at the Mecum auction and how we did. Now again, this Nissan Skyline is Midnight Purple 2. It's iridescent, it turns green and it turns purple and it turns brown and it turns blue. It's amazing. To me, it just wasn't that fun to drive. I felt like a 17-year-old kid in a tuner car. It didn't do anything for me. So I didn't enjoy driving it. I had it for 4 years. I had some offers on it, but honestly, I bought it so my brother and I had something to bond over. So we could work on a car together, we could go to car shows together, and we didn't even really do that. So that car was kind of a bummer. After paying the 18 and then the 10 to have it restored and brought back to life, 28. I shipped that to Mecum a year ago, January 2024. High bid was 25 grand. There was no reason for me to take a loss at the time. I made a video, the video performed well, it paid for the shipping back and forth, no big deal. Well, I paid to have it shipped back here again to Florida to sell it this time. I'm not going to ship it back home. That car, we're out. So I took this Skyline and highest bid gets it. I know that it did 25 last year, I think like a little under, and the Mecum auction charges 10% seller's fee plus a listing fee. So the listing fee was like $450, and I ended up selling it this year for $23,000. So $23,000 minus $2,300 is $20,700, and I actually paid $450 to list it, and I paid about $1,000 to ship it here. So I essentially sold it for what I originally paid for it back in 2020. But again, we're talking apples and oranges. Prices were way high back then, and prices are really low right now. So now you can get R34s, the next generation, which now that those are legal, the R33s are like cut in half by value, which really stinks for me. I can't have that anymore. I can't have it take up storage. I got a check from the Mecum auction for $20,700, and I already spent it on some other vehicles, which are gonna make me money. So holding on to things isn't so great. It's just tying up cash. It's depreciating clearly like the Skyline did, and then it's not making any money. So you either keep it, make no money off your money, or you take the loss, take the money, go buy something else, and then recoup your losses on profits on other vehicles. So just repeat the process on other cars. The process being make money, not lose money. So I sold the Skyline. The Humvee, we still actually have the Humvee. Why? I looked at Scouts, I looked at Blazers, I looked at Broncos. There's 70 grand for a convertible that rides like hell. I have one. I have a Humvee that's a convertible and rides like hell. So there's no reason to give it away yet. I'll wait for someone that's interested. It would be a great company vehicle for someone. And in the meantime, I'm gonna drive it. I also have an upcoming auction. We took that to a Highline sale, a dealer-only Highline sale. So that video is coming out soon where you get to see all kinds of Highline cars and the prices. Now let's get into this Mercedes and this Mercedes. I already went into how I purchased these things. They went back to New Hampshire. I shipped them both back to New Hampshire thinking springtime, it's perfect. I will never buy a Mercedes SL 500 again. The first car, a dealer lied to me. So this darker red Mercedes, a dealer lied to me. And when I said, hey, does the top work? He said, yes, it does not work. You saw those videos. Batteries died, power steering pump died. We had an alternator that went after. So it was just like one thing after another, and that car only had 39,000 miles. So I know everybody thinks I made a mistake, but I paid 10 grand for a 39,000 mile Mercedes SL 500. Still to this day, when you say that out loud, it's well worth it. I just couldn't anticipate all of those repairs, and you need a Mercedes tech to fix those cars. I can't fix that myself or in-house. You saw how many headaches we had. This other Mercedes, this bright red Mercedes, I loved it. It was a great car. The top worked, it rode well. I don't want to get into more Mercedes headaches, and it's going to die at some point. So we just want out of that thing, shipped to New Hampshire, shipped it back, sat on it for too long. And why did I sit on it for too long? Because I had other cars that make money. When you own a car dealership, you focus on the things that are selling, you focus on the projects that are gonna make you money, and sadly, both those Mercedes just sat from last year all the way to this year. So we brought the red Mercedes down, and I ended up selling both of these Mercedes at a dealer-only auction. Red light, highest bid gets them. We cashed out, I took the cash. Now we have cash for a Skyline, we have cash for two Mercedes to go buy something else and make money on them. So let's get into the difference between like YouTube revenue and why I make these videos with this car or my Stingray or my e-tron or the Humvee or the Skyline versus like the actual dealership. I started this channel to educate, to inform, and to entertain. I went to school for broadcast journalism. I love entertaining and I love educating. Both my parents and my grandfather are teachers, and I didn't want to be a teacher, so I found a way to reach out to everybody and educate them, whether it's what not to do or what to do, right here. So thank you for watching. I love doing this. I started the car dealership, like I said, because I wanted to be able to buy cars, drive cars, and sell cars. And it turned out to be really, really profitable. The only thing is, it's not so glamorous being a car dealer, like a used car. Nobody likes a used car dealer. So yeah, it made us money, but I wanted to find something else that was more rewarding. And making videos that help people is extremely rewarding, which is how my channel got started. And I try to make it not just about cars. I want it to be about cars and family and business and education all compiled into one video. So there's usually a beginning, a middle, and an end. And there's something wholesome usually in my videos. And I just got to hang out with my son for 2 days at the auction, which is some of the videos you got to see. Now, I also try to put it all out there, the good and the bad. So unfortunately, I have so many haters that are so happy to tell me everything I'm doing wrong. Number one, to all of you haters out there, you're mean people. And I guess just like misery loves company. So without you, I wouldn't have the views, and your negative, mean comments boost my algorithm, and I appreciate it. Some of the haters that say the meanest, most evil things are the ones that never miss a premiere or never miss a video. So even though you're a total a-hole out there, I do appreciate the view, and you are supporting me whether you like me or not. So thank you for that. I do put the good out there and the bad because I want it to be transparent. It's not a TV show. Not everything is, I bought it here and I sold it for $10,000 profit. I want you to see how hard this job really is. There's a lot of headaches and there's a lot of fires to put out. And the only reason I even have this car behind me is because I'm a problem solver. I don't give up, I don't give in, and I want you to see that on the videos. There's always a problem. You have to overcome that objection and figure out the solution. And that is how you win, not just with cars, not just with business, in life. Are you somebody that makes excuses, or are you somebody that solves problems? And there's a big difference between the two people. And part of these videos is exactly that. Okay, I can quit. I want to quit. You might have seen my Mercedes breakdown video and called me crying wheels. I want to quit. Don't quit. figure out the solution, because someone else won't do it for you, overcome the problem, and move on. And that's what we do in a lot of our videos, which makes me really happy to put the bad stuff out there too. There's a problem and there's a solution. All right, we already talked about like the losses on these cars. I told you I'm gonna tell you how much I made on YouTube. So why do I make YouTube videos? To educate, to entertain, to inform, all of those things I love, and it helps me just bond with people. I really didn't feel like I was at the auction alone, or when I have a problem, I really don't feel like I'm alone when I'm on camera, because I know someone else out there is watching and either understanding or has gone through it, or just watching because they're happy they're not going through it. So I don't feel like I'm alone anytime I make a video. Like, I'm not looking at my camera right now. I am looking at you as I say this stuff, that person on their couch watching from their television, or that person in their car watching from their phone. You're not supposed to be doing that, or on their tablet or any device. So thank you for watching. I make money doing these videos. And not only is it rewarding that you're watching, but it also pays me pretty well, so I can sustain some of those losses. And with that in mind, I'm gonna just conclude the reason I do it is because I just don't wanna be a used car dealer. I went to school for broadcast journalism. I love Top Gear when I grew up, and I grew up watching Chris Jacobs and Chip Foose on Overhaul, and I always wanted that job. And I have been on some TV shows with Tom Wookie Ford and Johnny the Car Pervert Smith with my brother, titled Mud, Sweat, and Gears. I raced across the country in a cannonball run with an electric vehicle. I was the first ever to reach California from New York in a 100% electric vehicle. I did it with my mom for a television show called Charge Across America. So fun. And I even learned how to race Corvettes on a track in Las Vegas with my father. Like, that's living. That is the stuff I want to do in life that makes me smile. And doing this is what I love doing. Selling Nissan Sentras, there's no glory in it. It's not that fun for me. And dealing with the customers and the headaches after they buy a $2,500 car. Yeah, it made money, but it's a lot of work and a lot of pain afterwards. I love doing this. This is what I want to do forever, and I'm going to continue doing it this way. The last thing is, like I told you, I know what I'm doing, but there is a learning curve to everything. So when I take losses, like on those Mercedes, I have to do it in order to learn. If I don't try, I won't learn. I can't learn from my mistakes if I don't make the mistakes. So I learned from those Mercedes, I learned from the Skyline, I learned what works and what doesn't. I can tell you I'm gonna do it more. Barrett-Jackson's in April, and I'm absolutely gonna do it. This is my third or fourth classic car auction, and I'm gonna continue, and I'm gonna learn from it, and I'm gonna do better and better. Most of you are so supportive. Some of you hate. We're getting better. And I'm making these videos to show you what works and what doesn't, and how we do it and how you can do it. I'm gonna continue making all of my positive videos, and I'm gonna continue making all the videos to show you what isn't working for me and all my mistakes. I'm transparent, I put it out there, good or bad, which isn't always to my advantage. I'm gonna actually end this video right here because, to be honest with you, after editing it, it was over 40 minutes long. So to summarize, everything I did wrong would have been, number one, purchasing for YouTube videos and not purchasing what makes money. I got stuck in the glitz and the glamour of, let's buy this Mercedes and sell it at another auction on YouTube. Number one, I don't know anything about Mercedes, and I've learned a lot, and I don't want to know anything about them. I know enough to know that I don't want to buy anymore. I would never buy another one like that again. Even at 39,000 miles, that thing was way rougher than it should have been. The red Mercedes I bought for YouTube as well. What can we buy for under $8,500? I shipped them home, I shipped them back. I wasted money on transportation times 4 for 2 cars. The Skyline I bought at the wrong time, and I bought with my heart, and that was something I wanted to do with my brother, and I really enjoyed it, but times changed, so I lost money there. And then the Humvee, same thing. I actually just made a mistake. I genuinely thought they were worth more money than they are, and they're not. So now I own it for too much money. It is for sale. If somebody wants to make me a very reasonable offer, I own it for over $32,000. It's still less than a Bronco or a Tahoe or a Scout. So I'm going to enjoy that until somebody purchases it. And I'm still going to do what I love to do. I'm going to make so much money on this Lamborghini, and even the Ferrari 360 we have, we're going to do well when that sells as well. I'm going to focus on what makes money, not what gets views. So that's what I would do differently. I lost a lot of money on the cars, but I made a lot of money on the YouTube revenue and the partners on the videos. So some of our videos we partnered up with, like OE Drew was our floor mats, Raycon we did earbuds, my bookie before the Super Bowl, and then even with the Corvette that we purchased, we actually made a bunch of money on that in a video coming up. And Think Car is the scan tool that I use to help fix that car with the check engine light. They help partner with a video, and I love my Think Car scan tool. So we do make money elsewhere, which is actually going to be our next video. So I don't drag these videos on for too long. I don't want 30, 40-minute long videos. Next video is going to be how much we made. I'm going to go behind the scenes and really show you how much YouTube paid me to make these videos. This entire Mecum series may have been a loss with cars, but it may have been a win with YouTube ad revenue and then partnerships. So we're going to go into all of that. I'll be as transparent as I can and show you exactly how much money we made thanks to YouTube and all of your views. So if this video was educational, entertaining, or informative, which is what I always try to make these videos, a thumbs up is appreciated. If you like our car content, make sure to subscribe. And if you want to get notified when we make part 2 and air it, you can hit the bell down below. All of our videos are aired on premieres, live premieres, where I'm on there chatting live with you. So if you ever want to join our live chats, it's usually Monday night around 8:30 and Thursday nights around 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can hop on and chat live with us too. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. All the links will be down in our description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you when I tell you how much we made in our next part. And I think from there, we're going to move on because I have a Ford Fusion, I have a Corvette, I have a G35, and I have a Monte Carlo SS that we're going to bought already. Fix, clean, and sell all for profit. I'm going to show you all of those behind the scenes in our next flip series, which is coming up after this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all later. Adios.